That's called the Great Big Minnesota Scam with one of the dumbest governors ever in history. I love this Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but she's always complaining.
Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure you subscribe to The Officer Tatum Show and The Officer Tatum channel. And message me if you want to ask me a question at Brandon@freedomchat.com. That's Brandon@freedomchat.com. Let's get into this. Get to the Somalis. Get to the Somali Alis. And that's the dumbest Somali. Listen, Somalia, the little Somalia in America. If you don't like America, get the out of here. Give me the beep. If you don't like America, get the out of here. Take your stanky, nasty, armpit hair having, pig in the blanket wearing, get your butt out of here. We don't want you here. Don't come over here and try to make this Somalia. That's why you left. If it's so great, go back. We don't want your little wrap-up stuff if you ain't trying to be an American. You can do this if you want to assimilate, but don't come over here thinking our women got to dress up and be silly. And let me say this. Let me say this, because y'all finna make me go crazy up in here. She with a white man. Pull it up for me real quick. I think we can do it. On her profile picture on X, she with a white man, though. This the same hamburger heifer that was running around saying the white man is the most dangerous man and you up in it, hiking it up for the white man. He ain't even got the garb on. Homeboy ain't even a Muslim. Maybe he is a Muslim. He a white Muslim. He ain't a part of the brotherhood. She changed. No, she didn't. She changed her cover photo. She changed her cover photo. Quit lying. Quit lying. Go on the internet right now. Find a picture of her and a white man. She changed her cover photo. I was on there and I was looking and I said, wait a minute, that can't be Ilhan Omar. She got two people in a photo picture. It had a blue check mark and she was posted still by herself. I said, wait a minute, let me click on this. She up under the arm of a white man. Now, I ain't got no problem with you being with white people. I love my wife. My wife, white is this piece of paper over here. I love my wife. I ain't got no problem with white folk. But if you out here saying all this crazy stuff about Europe and Europeans and America and slavery and all that, and you with a white man, what's the brotherhood say about it? Ilhan, brotherhood gonna stone you to death. You look just like that girl I saw getting stoned in that other video I watched. They stoning people where you from. All right. There she go. Maybe a Muslim. Is he a Muslim? He looked like he a Muslim. I thought he was a Jew at first. I said, man, she married a Jew. That's even crazier. Either way it go, he not a brown. He not a black and brown body. He not Somalian. What a traitor. You traitor. Anyway, pull up on the screen. This fool. Y'all, let me say this real quick. Don't get mad at me. We'll get the Doha in a minute. This fool, you know how I know that she know that the Somalians are doing crime? Because black people do crime too in the hood. It's the same stuff. If I ran for office, I know people doing fraud where I grew up at. I know they doing fraud. And if I claim that I want to change things and fix it, I'll call out the fraud. But she know the Somalians doing fraud. They do it just like black people. People in poor areas, they find ways to make money. They find ways to do their little thing. She know they doing it. They donating to it and all kind of stuff. All right, roll the clip.
Legislation that led to the $250 million being defrauded. She held events at one of the restaurants that was named in the fraud case and had a former staffer who was convicted in the fraud investigation. That's from the New York Post. And 60 of the 79 people who've been indicted in this are from her 5th congressional district there in Minnesota. So a lot of people are saying, wow, there's a lot of potential links here. How much did she know about this?
She knew everything about it. You ain't doing all that and you don't know your people over there doing fraud. Hold on, before we go here, I want to show y'all ground.news real quick. She know they doing fraud, bro. She at the restaurant of a person who involved in the fraud. They doing fraud, bro. You put your own people up and they turn a blind eye to the fraud. That's why these Somalians are trying to get people in office. They're trying to get people in government positions so they can turn a blind eye to all that fraud. All right, hit me. Let's bring up ground.news real quick because I want to show y'all this, and this is significant in my personal opinion. Maybe I'll zoom it in for you. I need y'all to be informed about how this stuff is covered. All you got to do is look at the way these articles are written. As you notice, this is right. 95% right wing, 70% right wing, 100% right wing. Listen to the titles, right? Somali illegal immigrant fraudster photographed with Tim Waltz and Ilhan Omar and them. She says Stephen Miller's rhetoric echoes language of Nazis. Then it goes, it reports allege Ilhan Omar entered marriage with relative. Now, I want you to go down here. Let's go to where the blue stuff at. Blue. Left. They not talking about nothing about this fraud. Now, what they talking about is bad. I'm not going to say it ain't bad. Somebody want to behead you and eat your kids. That's pretty crazy. But why they not talking about the fraud too? The left ain't talking about none of that fraud. So you looking at this, they talking about decapitation stuff, which they should, but ain't nobody talking, you don't see no blue talking about the fraud. So, and look at this one. They talking about that man that's vowed to cut a head off. Listen, when your family's stupid and you going and talking to them and you like, why y'all so stupid? You don't see the Ilhan Omar married her cousin and they like, she married her cousin them. She never did. The man tried to cut her head off. The reason that they saying that because they ain't getting the news from nobody talking about nothing. They only getting one side. And this is why I like ground.news because you know exactly what you're getting, where you're getting it, how you gonna get it. All you gotta do is go to ground.news.com/Tatum. Link is in the description section. I think we get y'all 40% off because y'all love me and y'all follow me. We'll get you 40% off. Ground.news/Tatum. The link will be in the description section.
Kind of immigrants that you do want to see in America?
Well, they certainly contribute. Yeah, I want to see people. Yeah, I want to see people that contribute. I don't want to see Somalia. I don't want to see a woman that marries her brother to get in and then becomes a congressman, does nothing but complain. All she does is complain, 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 and yet her country's a mess. It's one of the worst in the world. Let her go back, fix up her own country. Somalia, yeah, and I was right about it. I started complaining about Somalia long before the scandal. The horrible things they're doing to Minnesota, it's incredible. They have an incompetent governor there too. The Democrats are running some bad ships.
I want to pick up on where the Treasury Secretary just left off. He alleged that people who were tied to you or your campaign were involved in this broad, brazen scheme to rip off the Minnesota state welfare system. Do you want to respond to that? Do you know what he is referring to?
I really don't, and I don't think the secretary himself understands what he's referring to. We obviously had people who were able to donate to our campaign that were involved. We sent that money back a couple years ago. And actually, I was one of the first members of Congress to send a letter to the Secretary of Ag asking them to look into what I thought was a reprehensible fraud that was occurring within the program.
All right, here's another clip that I found, and I share this sentiment, right? Are these people going to go to jail for this? People asked me this yesterday on Freedom Chat. Are people going to go to jail for this? I want to play the clip because I want you to see the accusations and I want you to see what this influencer said. I don't know her name, but I agree with what she's saying. Wrote a clip.
All right, this news just breaking moments ago. Fox News has obtained photos of one of the Somali illegal immigrants wrapped up in the Minnesota fraud scandal, posing with several high-profile Minnesota Democrats, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz. The man pictured is Abdul Dahir Ibrahim. He entered the country in 2000 and has had an order for removal since 2004. He also has a prior conviction in Canada for asylum and welfare fraud. ICE tells Fox News Ibrahim was granted temporary.
Question is, when are they truly going to start holding people accountable? The ones who are responsible for allowing this kind of stuff to happen. The more they expose taxpayer-funded fraud, the more I'm sitting here trying to figure out why the hell I continue to pay taxes. Not only do we have major issues at the government level, but we sure as hell have major issues at the state level. I want to start seeing accountability. I want to start seeing arrests.
I want to hear from the Donnie. Okay, Donnie's going to talk, and then we're going to get the Tucker going to Doha with his sorry self. Roll the clip.
And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them the hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
You know what's funny? Put him back on the screen. Put Trump back on the screen. You know what's funny is I think about, you know how you see pictures of old presidents from 100 years ago? And you like, what kind of personality did they have? And like when we go back and look at pictures of Trump, because these pictures that we have now may look antiquated in 100 years. I don't know what kind of stuff they got. Now they're gonna be like holograms and stuff, and the old picture like this that's on a phone is gonna be like ancient. And you're gonna go back and you be like, I wonder. I hear all the quotes from Donald Trump. Maybe we're not gonna have none of his speeches because it's gonna be old data that can't be converted to the new system, and they're gonna be like Abe Lincoln. You're like, I wonder what he was saying. Like, maybe they had more decorum than Trump, but I'm like, were they as raw as Trump? Was George Washington like Trump? Abe Lincoln like Trump? You know, I don't know. General Ford, were these guys that were older gentlemen in our country's history? Were they, you know, anything like Trump, outspoken and just say whatever he feel on the top of his head? I always wondered that.